Goblin Slayer Season 2, Episode 7. Last episode, it was a good episode. And my favorite part was obviously the fan service and actually the interactions that we got when they got to the elf village. Those are the things I really liked. And then all of a sudden they're being attacked by a fucking dinosaur. We'll see. I'm actually quite like, man, I want to get into the episode immediately, so let's do it. This stops the water. Alright, that is what it was called. The one that stops the water. Why is it called that? If it was a kraken, I would kind of like understand it conceptually, because it stops people from being able to travel where it is. So it isn't like stopping the water itself, but it's stopping people. Oh, the Jungle Cruise. Oh, okay, they don't want to kill it. Alright, so I was wrong. I thought the goblins were not gonna have anything to do with this. And it was just gonna be that the goblins decide to attack when the dinosaur is, rampaging across the elf place. But I was incorrect. So the question is, how is this, like they said, like it doesn't look like the goblin has much control over it. But how is killing the goblin going to stop this thing? Alright, there we go. Now what? Holy shit. We got some, dragon shouts. Alright. So make it a little bit like drunk. Or like daze it or something, stupor. Don't really know what that word means, but I do know that it makes people like a bit daisy, a bit stunned. Because in, God, what's that game called? Chimera Squad. One of your units can cause people to get, or that the ability is called stupor. And it has chance to, daze or stun and stuff. Now what? Yeah, we took it down, but how do we make it go the other way? Are you lying? Because the way he was looking is kind of like... Oh god, maybe I should have remembered. What was his question? Alright, obviously they're speaking Elvish. But I do wonder if, because you can see that they subtitle it in Japanese as well. So, so you know what? So why not spend those decades with him? And like farewells is part of life. The pain of hangover is like one of the joys of drinking. That's a good little quote. Like, why? Like, is it that? Well, maybe obviously your sister. So kind of like, you know what, sister, I want you to be home safe. So I understand why, but seems to be like maybe the sister herself isn't having so much fun, or maybe having like wedding jitters. All right. Well, ask the elves. Elves, do you have any ships with protection? Sylphs? Why not? And also, I mean, doesn't seem like your elves are that competent either. Yeah. It's like the elf way, like take a million years to do something. You're like, oh, well, you elf, yeah, sure, you elves are way better than us, but what you would do in like 10 years, we can do like 2 years. I guess the problem for us is that you elves live for thousands of years, and we don't. We live for like 60, 70. And I assume the dwarves are probably double human. Hmm. And that got her killed. Like, oh yeah, that sounds a lot like what I said. The dwarf. This guy and the dwarf have more in common than they would think. by killing all the goblins. Because it has nothing to do with goblins. Wait, how do you know? Like, are you reading my letters? Alright, yeah. Because the Goblin Slayer, he's not gonna save the world, but saving the people, like, you need that as well. If you save the world but all the people are dead, then, like... oh god. Whew. That shot. No. Like, I can't tell a difference. You with makeup or without. No. Alright, well, they have shored up the boat a bit. And they actually gotten a boat and not just a raft. He's like, I'll try. Yeah, and I mean, the goblins, if they got their own rafts and boats, they can attack you through the river. Especially if it's foggy, make it harder for you guys to see, and then you're fucked. Like the Rangers in, was it Osgiliath? Oh. Oh, that is what's called a dummy, right? Are those the sylphs? Yeah. Alright. Good. 3 arrows, 1 goblin. Maybe not the best economic use of those 3 arrows. Oh no, they're using like necromancy. Okay. He like, I need to do a big jump to be able to get to shore, so no. Big jumps, like big noise. Behind you. Oh, that's actually... Was that what a weapon that the goblin had? That looked like a very good spear, so they must have pilfered it, I guess, from the elves. Alright, yeah, here we go. You get dead elves strung up. Oh wait, so the one that stops is not actually that dinosaur, it's a place? Oh, okay. I'm confused. I'm so confused about that title. Oh no, wait, those were adventurers, right? I mean, I think I saw only elves, is what I think. So maybe those were like elf adventurers. Maybe there were some non-elves sprinkled through that I didn't see, but no, that's convenient. To use locksmithing. Well, I assume the Goblin Slayer used. He tried both keys. He didn't just try one key and went like, oh, it doesn't work. He must have tried both. Okay. Oh, wait, did they say that that thing is often in this place? So that's the thing. The one that stops the river, like he's. Oh. Like, toss me. Like, have you guys seen evidence of them trying to poison the river? Uh, don't get discouraged. Alright. They grind up like adventures and elves, and then put it in, the river. And it seems like it's also not just what's called elves and humans, whatever. It looked like they also grinded up like what looked like Nosferatu or something like that, like a or like God, what are they called? The flesh eater courts. Oh no, the name of what they are escapes me. Oh, you apologize for what he just said. He's like, yes, I don't want to become like a goblin. So we have to do it. Like, I don't regret complaining all the time, but yeah, I need you to sleep so that I can stay awake, so that I know that when I sleep, you are, awake. Yeah, she's terrified. Makes sense. I mean, I would be pissing and shitting my pants if I were in their situation. I mean, I wouldn't do this to begin with, even if it meant, like, I don't think I have it in me to be an adventurer. Even if I was, like, my best self. Like, I wasn't handicapped. And I was physically fit. I don't think I have the mental strength to do it. See this shit. Kill all this shit. No thanks. Alright, well, this episode was okay. Didn't really care that much for the beginning. Like, oh, they didn't kill this thing. And it was a goblin, like, riding it, so I guess, like, they're like, oh, the goblins managed to corral this thing into the elf village. Okay. And then also, like, the gruesome things we saw, I think they should have lingered on those things a bit longer, like a few more seconds, because I think it wasn't long enough for me to even, like, when they showed, like, a gruesome scene, I was like, wait, what just happened? Oh god. It's kind of like, I need to, like, go back, like, alright, let's see, I need to try and find it again. And then pause to see, like, that's the awful thing the goblins did. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we see, like, they've grinded. And since they're grinding the whole person, obviously it's the blood, shit, everything. And then, I think right here we saw something that I thought was kind of like a ghoul. And there we go. Oh, no, okay. It was just, I thought this thing right here was like a monster or something that they were grinding up. But no, it's just part of, the altar. And then, what else did you see? You saw some skeletons. And for some reason, it has changed text to, like, Spanish or, like, Portuguese. Why? I have no idea. And that's so weird why he did that. I want to hear, this segment again. Because I kind of missed this a little bit. The beginning, if we always just threw corpses into the river, would be no different than goblins. She's like, that's not what she means. She's kind of like, that is not, just throwing the corpses into the river. That's not the only thing separating us from goblins. Come on now. But overall, I was quite bored in this episode. And I think it has to do with the fact that they didn't linger on some of these scenes enough. I mean, my favorite scene, I guess, was seeing Cowgirl's panties. That was my favorite scene on this. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's it. Pantsu.